Hello, my name is Randy Toroni, and I'm going to demonstrate to you my drawing process today. First thing we got to do is block in the character. I'm trying to get a rough idea of the facial area or the helmet of this character so that I have a reference point to go off of. The rest of the body is going to be extremely influenced by the head area. The head dictates pretty much the attitude for the rest of the body, so it's a really good starting point to start off. It's good to get a general block in of the whole body, but be willing to make changes throughout based off of what the head's gonna bring you. Because if you decide, oh, I want this character to be happy or sad or egotistical, I want him to have that kind of look on his face, and the expression on the face can change drastically depending on what you're trying to pull off. Now, if you have a prompt ahead of time that tells you what it specifically is going to be, then it can be easier to maybe block in the whole body, because you can get the whole body's an angry expression or a sad expression into the whole body first. But if you're doing what I'm doing right here, I was trying to get the face in first so that I can make the whole body go off of where the head is going. Right now I'm trying to find the optimum positioning for the character to demonstrate the expression that I'm feeling that the character is expressing from his face, so that the body and his head link up in their expressions, so that the character feels like a full-on character, feels complete emotionally. Because if you have the head looking all sad, but you have the rest of the body having a happy expression to it, it looks all happy, then you're having two clashing ideas happening in a character, which is not something you want to have happen, unless you are trying to have something like a very complex character, which in that case I guess it would be good, but not in this case. Now, sometimes you'll find yourself having the body and face expressions complete, but you don't really like what you have. You still don't feel like it's right. So a lot of times, pretty much every time I do a drawing, I take it this next step further. Maybe even several times, maybe 2 or 3 times, or more even 6 times. Whatever amount of times that you have to redraw over it or play around with it to make it so that it feels right. It doesn't matter how many times it takes. It just matters that you do get there, expression-wise. Right here, I do this pretty cool trick where I take a lasso tool and then I move around the body parts, the legs, the arms, warp them around, use the warp tool to warp them into a good, a better perspective maybe, or rotate them around so that they have a different feel to them. I switched up the emotion completely just by switching up the legs on this character. I brought them up, gave him a wider stance, so their knees look like they're kind of bent, one's coming forward, the other, and then I moved the front arm forward and put up a finger. Now it looks like he's asking, "Bring it on!" You know, bring on the fight. So now he has this completely different expression than the first one I had going on, which is a bit more passive. Him just kind of putting his head on a skull, which just kind of felt like a cop-out to me. It just wasn't good enough. It was too expressionless and just basically him being, "Oh, look at me, I'm cool," which is not good enough. It needs to be who this guy is. What is he all about? Why is he different? What's really nice about this character in particular? Right now, I still mess around with his sword, his weapon, and playing with his costume. His expression right at this point, I really like where it's at with the body. And even though I'm most likely going to cover up his face, I still want to draw in the face, even though, just because that makes it so I can go from there. And if I ever want to show his face, maybe have two versions where he has a helmet on, because this character has a helmet specifically, so if I want to show him without the helmet and with the helmet, you always have the option to show both, which is really nice. Also, this character is supposed to be a kind of a cute character that's kind of cute and cuddly, but at the same time he's a Death Knight character, so he's got deadly armor, deadly spiky death armor, and a weapon that's huge, and it's got death void spikes and stuff on it. So it was really interesting character to work on, because it was two clashing ideas that made really nice contrasts. Cute and cuddly, but wearing spiky death armor, which is really, really cool. And it was quite a challenge to do. I mean, when I was told to do this character, I was told that this would be really hard to do. But I think it was, because it was a challenge, it was fun to do. Right now I'm just working on the armor, playing with shapes, trying to build up just trying to move forward with the design, push it forward. Now right here, it's skipped ahead because I forgot to record a part, but as you can see, I've pretty much kept with the Death Knight feel of the character. Adding in spikes, pretty much because that's what the character Brief had. Purple spikes. But in the original character concept idea, the guy wanted him to be, his whole face to be covered up, but I felt like that this character really needed to show a snout, so that we get that cuddly, cute cuddliness little aspect of it, and we know what's underneath. We can see that, oh, this is a cute, or it's a furry animal character. But if you cover up the face completely, it makes it really hard to know if, what race or what this thing is. If you cover up everything that there is about the character, then with armor, then you're just going to end up with, especially if the audience has no idea what this kind of creature is, then if you don't leave any of the biological areas there for us to see, then how are we supposed to know? How are we supposed to know what's underneath the steel at all if you don't give us a little teaser of what's there, what should be there or whatever? So I used my artistic freedom to express that by putting out a nostril, a nose area, so that you can see that his little foxy looking guy, and some of his ears sticking out. But it's just enough for people to know that this is like a little fox character inside of this death armor. Otherwise, it would have just been covered up, and it would have been nothing for the audience to go by. People would have looked at it and been like, what is that, some kind of weird looking person in that suit, like, or outfit? They just don't know. So I think you have to give them at least 10% animal, furry, something kind of a little bit showing, so that they know, oh, there's a beast under there. It's not just some weird human composite thing. We can tell. So you gotta let people know. You gotta let them know at least something about your. You gotta let them know about a little something, because visually, because they're just not. No one's gonna know. No one can jump inside your head. Where in the visual medium, you have to let people. You have to show them visually what you mean, and hammer it hard. Pretend they don't know anything, and try your best to show them what you mean. Well, now I've pretty much finished this as far as I'm going to take it for now. But it took me a little over an hour to do this, and pretty happy with where it got. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful and educational. Feel free to like or subscribe. I'm going to continue to be making these videos for a long time to come. And I hope to improve the quality of these videos. So please leave a comment and share it with your friends. Thank you. Bye.